Good day everybody, Ricky Tang here, and today I am going to be fitting don't roll anywhere, this bad boy. You might not be able to read that because of the way they've printed it on. Ohlins adjustable steering damper. Oops, maybe dropped something. So should be fairly straightforward to fit. I've already got a steering damper on the bike, I'll show you in a minute. But this replaces that, so yes, that goes there. There's a little spacer that goes there, and a little plastic washer that goes on top of the eye there. Bosh. And a couple of washers and a bolt that also fits onto the existing nut. I reused the existing nut from the existing steering damper and the existing bolt on this side as well. You might be able to see on this thread that there's a little bit of white stuff, and that's because this is actually a used steering damper. Allegedly used just for one track day, and then the bike was sold or part X'd. So it didn't come with washers. These are two washers I found in my magic drawer. They seem to fit alright. I don't seem to snag or run out of clearance anywhere as the eye moves around. This eye is very flexible, because this could be used in a number of different applications for different vehicles potentially. But in my application, it pretty much stays bolt upright. It doesn't do any of this crazy stuff and go at different angles. So we're just about ready to go. What needs to happen first is for me to loosen the existing steering damper. So yeah, I've got a bolt there I've got to loosen and drop that out, and got a T45 head there on that Torx bolt. So let's get that stuff off first. Go on, be careful, I don't want to hit the fork and hit the finish on the fork. There is no bolt at the top, it's just a thread into the frame as far as I can see. Oh right, I feel a spacer as well, so right, let's leave that as it is. Let's get a 13mm spanner, which I've got hanging around somewhere. You can see my front wheel is actually moving. And that's because I'm using the extension bar on my ABBA stand with a strap to pull the back wheel down, get the front wheel in the air. Oh, there's not a lot of clearance there. Might have been easier if I took the fairing off. Unfortunately, I think as I turn the top bolt, that nut and the main bolt is moving. This ain't good. Is it moving? Can't tell. Well, that's great. So I have to hope I can hold on to that nut with a 12 and loosen this black nut with the 13. I have my doubts about that. Oh, I think that's okay. I think we might be alright. So I can't quite tell. I think things are getting looser here. Yeah, I'm starting to see a bit of a thread down below, I think now. So I think we're getting there. Okay, black nut coming up. I hope I don't drop it. Black nut. Yeah, I still can't understand what's going on with this bolt and why I don't need it again, but we'll soon see. Right, let's get something soft on top of my mudguard before I accidentally drop the steering damper on top, because knowing me, I probably will. Right, what's going to come down? Okie dokie, what have we got here? Yeah. So that's the contraption that came off. So I do not need this rubber bung. I do not need this spacer. I reuse this bolt. Oh, I see. Basically, this never comes off. This steering damper is just attached. Cool. I want to use it, but I've got no need for it. Now then. So yeah, that is the replacement setup. And we've got a little plastic washer or spacer. This sits on top. Now, this spacer, the way it's been turned, I guess it's been turned, it's got two slightly different angles on this. The bottom one could be the top one, but the bottom one's slightly different angle and length, I think, to the top one. But I don't believe it matters. Might just be a trick of the eye anyway. So as you can see, just to confirm, we've got the original bolt, straight through, plastic spacer, sleeve, up into the frame. On the other side, screw that came with the kit, two washers that I've had to source myself, and original nut on top. That's all there is to it. So let's get on it. So go through the middle. Plastic spacer is definitely in place. Here's the Ohlins spacer. Now I can't really see where this goes, so I can feel it though. There we go. That's it, it's bit. Now it should be torqued up, and I haven't got the torque spec here, so I'll just get it in position and I'll torque it up later on. Just try and push it all up with my hands so the plastic spacer doesn't shift around, stays on top of that little eye. That's it, that's basically there in position. Now I think that was a mistake. I think everybody knows that was a mistake, because it might be hard now to get the bolt through and the washers in position. Yeah, been a bit stupid there. Wow, I haven't got space to even get the washers in like this, I don't think. Alright, there we go, we're in ish. There we go, we're through. The only other thing you've got to watch out for is this eye, this piece has a circlip, which I wish I'd shown you. I'll try and take a photo later on. Hopefully you can see it in place. And that is basically it. What is that? That's an Allen. Oh yeah, I haven't used this one before, have I? So got to get an Allen key. Get lined up. As you just saw there, perhaps you might think, hold on, he's tightened up at a funny angle, but it's on this fitting, it's on that flexible fitting, so it doesn't really matter what I do with the actual eye. It's not that I'm really tightening against. Yeah, it's okay, and you might be able to see, you probably can't, there's a couple of threads showing on top of the nut again, so that's getting there. Like I said, I've got to get proper torque spec for that one, which I will. You don't have to see that, it's not very exciting. It's tight-ish now, tight enough. That's it. Now, you can actually see, possibly, that there's still movement in the steering damper. Now, as I understand it, movement is normal. It needs a bit of freedom, basically. And there was similar movement on the original steering damper before I took it off. So we're in position. Now I just have to look back at the instructions, look at the adjuster, find out which way's tight and which way's loose. I'm about to find out now actually. 6. I've just tightened the adjuster all the way up to one end because I didn't know which way was tight. But if you can see me now, if I try and push the wheel, it's very slow to move. There's a lot of resistance there. So let's go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think that's 23. 20. Oh, 20. You can see now we are loosey goosey. Now I'm going to tighten it all the way. Apparently, to match the default damper, you need to be 10 clicks from fully in, 10 clicks from fully tight. Well, I don't want that. My damper, I think, was already too loose for me. My front end was a bit too wild for me, which is why I've basically bought this. So I'm going to go for 7 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, definitely some resistance there. And I'll go for a ride. If it's too tight, then steering will feel heavy. If it's too loose, then steering will feel very quick. But I'll just have to ride it and find out. So I'll get this torqued up, won't forget, and I'll go riding. I'll take you with me and we'll find out what 7 clicks does for us. So thanks for hanging out with me so far. See you on the road.